Okay, we are in the building, 5D Mystery School. Got a live debate tonight. Welcome. Peace. Guys are coming in. Hope you guys are ready for this debate. Hope you guys can hear me. Peace. What's up? It's all love. Miss Jazzy B back again. Okay, I see you. Consistency. Showing up for class. All right. Light, shining, bright hunter. A1 fame. I see you guys rolling in. I love it. All right. So, let's get this started. I think a class debate is good because it's good to learn how to not only see somebody else's viewpoint, somebody else's perspective, and not be offended by it, but it kind of lets you see like different aspects of learning, like cognitive dissonance. Everybody doesn't have to agree with you. Your truth doesn't have to be somebody else's truth. Peace. Let the moderators here. I'm gonna add you in a second, mod. So I think this class debate should be a healthy debate. I think that it's good to just see other people's viewpoints and show up. And it's good for me just to sit back and assess to just see where everybody is and how I can proceed with this next lecture. All right, so moving on. The next lecture is going to be next week, Primeval Waters. Your homework is 1, watch Interstellar. If you already haven't seen Interstellar, watch Interstellar. That's your homework. The homework question: does the sun and moon go retrograde like all other luminaries? That's your homework question. And your homework research question, that's right, this is a 3-part, is research what is the Internet of Bodies. What is the Internet of Bodies? That's your homework research. And as far as your past homework, which was Westworld, we're going to discuss that next week for next week's part of next week's discussion, next Wednesday, 6 p.m. All right, one last thing before we get started. I love to do a class presentation soon. Like I said yesterday, I think it's all about elevating voices in the community. So this is where you get to do research and collaborate with your peers. And I'll put your final presentation up on all of my platforms. And so the first round, let's see if we can get at least 3 people, and you'll pick the topic, and then, but you have to bring the heat. Like, the topic has to be one, you're gonna have to like run it by me just to see if it's something that the community would even want to see. You feel me? I hope everybody can hear me. And yeah, that's how we'll move. And so I like to see you guys always have like intellectual dialogue in the comments. So it'd be cool to like move that dynamic to a group project, you know what I'm saying? Because it takes more than a comment section to build a community. It takes like collaborative efforts. It takes the in-person meetings, which is going to be down the road. You know, it takes really building a community of like-minded people like we're doing right here. So let's move it beyond the comment section, and let's see if we can get 3 people. Hit me in a DM. First 3 people to hit me in a DM is yours. And then, yeah, you'll get to do your own research project, and then I'll put you on the platforms, and that way people get to see your intellect. If you guys aren't following me on Discord, please, the link is in the bio. Follow me in Discord. I need extroverts in the Discord, somebody that's actually going to speak, because the introverts, we just kind of like to observe. So I need some extroverts up in there. All right, so let's get this started, man. Let's get into it. Let's get this. Oh, the class rules. The class rules are really simple. 5 minutes max each person. Stay on topic. Be respectful. Have class. And let's get into it. All right. So real quick, let me add the mod. She's back again. I'm so grateful. Let me mod. Let me see. I see we already got 2 people up for the debate. Come on, y'all. If y'all want to get on this, you guys want to get on the board. I know we missed a couple, a lot of people last night, so I want to make sure I get to everybody tonight. So let me see if the mod is. I know I saw my mod in here. Let me see. Is Instagram messing with this live on purpose? Okay, I'm just gonna start adding the people. Mod, if you're in here, please request to go live with me so I can. There we go.
Blessings, peace, and abundance.
Peace, brother. Peace.
How
you guys doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. As Prana,
I'm
we're
welcome.
outside in Florida. I was sharing yesterday.
Cool.
Yeah,
Southern California.
I'm from SoCal. What part of SoCal are you from, brother?
Originally from the Valley. I'm a Valley boy, but I'm out in
Like
the
Hesperia, Apple Valley, Victorville?
No, San Fernando Valley.
Oh, that's Northern Cali, though. You're switching it up.
Oh, no. San Fernando Valley is Southern SoCal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, where all the people say like, and
Yes. Blessings to the moderator.
Yeah.
Blessings to the host.
Go ahead,
Hello.
moderator. Jump on in. It's yours. Go ahead.
I missed the beginning because there was like a lag. So how is the feed? Am I clear? Am I feeding in and out? I'm using.
You're actually good today.
Yeah, today you're good.
Awesome.
So guys, the rules is just the same as yesterday. It's super simple. You already said where you're from. If you want, you can say your zodiac sign. It's not a big deal. But the topics were presented on the platform. So we have round Earth versus flat Earth. Are we in a simulation? Are we not in a simulation? Do you believe the Bible is literal or is it an allegory? So you can choose any of those topics. Hopefully you guys can choose one topic to debate on, and then you guys will have 5 minutes each. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. Moderator, you got the setup. Let's get into it.
I'll let you choose, though.
He said he's gonna let you choose, my brother.
Me?
Yeah.
I'll say the best for last. I like to go last, respectfully.
So
a lot of people like to pick my brain already, so I don't want to just give it out too quick. I'd rather hear everybody else's opinion and kind of critique based off of those opinions, because I hear some flat earth people, I hear some people that just are atheists, and I would like other people to freestyle first, people.
All right, cool.
Go ahead,
cool. No worries. Well, I'd like to start off with the whole flat earth thing. If you take a camera and you point it up straight in the sky and you time lapse it over 24 hours to 48 hours, you'll see that everything spins in a perfect circle around a center, right? Now, if we as a planet have a rotation ourselves, right? And then we have an orbit around the sun, and the sun has its own pattern that's spiraling through the universe at 43,000 miles per hour or some shit like that. How is it that the stars are not all over the place? They're saying that it's because, we're looking so far back in history that you see them in the same spot. Come on, bro. For eons, they've been recording that, right? That the star movement is this and that, and you could always go back and say, it comes out if the equinox is on this day back in 400 BC. Like, the stars were there. So why wouldn't we be somewhere else in the universe if we are traveling at 43,000 or whatever kilometers it is per hour? And I yield.
You yield?
Yeah, I mean, not yield, but I present my time.
Ooh.
And you did so in 3 minutes and 31 seconds. So next up.
Had to unmute. So I guess that by default makes me next. But however, I'm a realist. I believe in the Bible, not based off of religion. I don't believe in religion. I believe in relationship. If anybody knows the difference, then I shouldn't have to elaborate too deep on that. But oppose what I'm speaking of, I will go ahead and elaborate. What that means a little bit is that when it comes to this earth, flat earth realm, not elaborating on the religion part, but just on the topic, I definitely go with facts. I go with truth, real, and not based on just somebody's opinion on not wanting to do the research and see what's actually going on. I'm a human being. I go outside. While I was just outside, I see a lot of other life, living things such as plants, such as trees that are just giving off air. Like if I breathe right now, there's going to be some type of breath that's coming out of my body, adding to the atmosphere. So a lot of people are not able to understand what's going on because there's so many life forms around them that they're not even conscious of. They're so focused on the sun, moon, not focused on life that's living around them. That's called take place. So now what has happened is a lot of humans that has tried to go and do the research, tried to see, okay, if we could time this, if we can study this, and there's a lot of scientists. I like science a lot. I believe in science and I believe in God. I don't know why people say those two contradict. But at the end of the day, I have done the due diligence of research and I'm still doing research just as a lot of scientists on, you know, what's the whole cause. We know there was a big, they say everything was first dark, everything was void. They know it was all of absence first when this earth has come to being, because everything around that we can see with the actual physical eye was created, not created by simulation, because I know I'm a created around us like me. I'm not a
Okay, my brother, do you have a response? Moderator, you can do your thing. Don't be afraid to jump in there.
Okay, I wasn't sure it was going the wheelie thingy.
I meant to say that you guys have 3 rounds max, so that means you guys get to respond twice.
Okay, good to know.
I'm a human being. I'm a living form, like a tree, like a plant, like you, like the other queen here that's moderating. We're all living, and I think when you start focusing on the moon, and like some people actually used to worship these deities because they seen the great power that they brought. But I think people take away from the power that you bring, that I bring, that trees bring, like the oxygen that comes from. Why I keep bringing up trees.
1 minute.
Oh, I can stop now, but it's just I want people to understand that it's more than just us at play. It's more than just people that's going before us to do the research. We just have to really be not only conscious but be logical about everything. You know, I definitely believe there's God. There's an some supreme creator, because everybody that tries to study these things, like the moon, like the stars, they get confused. No one man can actually pinpoint what's truly going on. So it's beyond man's imagination. It's beyond man's thoughts. It's beyond man's theory. The Bible says, as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my thoughts higher than yours. So as soon as we stop playing God and just start focusing on God, I think it's going to be a big freak show of people just trying to unwind what's truly going on. But it's really planted out there for us to see if we just believe the facts and stop looking outside of the facts. It's like if somebody told me 1 + 1 is 2. I can doubt it or I can believe it. One person can say, look, I'm into crypto. I can take 1 and turn it to 10. But that does not mean 1 + 1 isn't 2 in whatever language that I'm speaking in. And this is where a lot of people bring up this whole language differential, like where it like confuses people. Oh, well, they taught you 2 + 2 is 4. Well, yeah, in English, in America, that is the true mathematics of that. That, you know, that's the true understanding. So I think we just got to get back to an understanding, knowledge, wisdom, like kind of the basics. But then from the basics, you are able to scale. But if you are
Time.
basics, how are you going to scale?
Thank you.
So let's see. My response is, yeah, absolutely. There is a greater God. There is one creator that we are all connected to, that we are all divinely connected with each other through. Definitely. Religion is a false form of control that was the original concept of love, right? And they figured, oh, if we scare them with, if they don't listen, they're going to go to hell. We can control them because we have what is called will, right? And we either pick a positive polarity or a negative polarity. And depending on what soul cycle we're on, we're going to choose either or, right? So in response to what he said, yeah, it's great that we use facts, and I love using facts. I wasn't using any feelings or emotions at all. I was actually pointing out physical markers that are easily seen. Like I said, if you grab a camera and you point it up, I'm not focusing on the moon. Fuck the moon. The moon is fake. What I'm focusing on.
Like I was speaking towards you. I was speaking more towards the viewers that I know, like watch the page. I was not
right.
towards the host here.
Oh, all right. Well, we're talking about if the Earth is a spinning globe and we're traveling at thousands of fucking miles per hour, why have the stars been so dependable across hundreds of thousands of years? Right? How is it that if we are not the center of it all, we wouldn't have fucking constellations in the same spot ever so often with a minimal shift, if that was it, right? I don't believe we're on a floating pancake through space. I don't think there is a space. If anything, it's just outside of the firmament to the next firmament, to the next ground of terrains, because this whole time I think we've just been under the control of the people that snuck in during the mud flood. They knew the good powers had a global domination, and everything was free power, healing, everything.
Have you flown overseas?
Say that again?
Have you flown overseas, or have you flown across?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So when the plane starts to do that tilting, and when you actually see you going different horizons, because I fly a lot too, and I'm very intrigued about it, and it kind of frightens me a little bit in the sky, which I'm taught, not to have fear, but a power of self-control. However, how do you explain the different curvings while you're flying if it's all flat? I'm just curious.
Perspective is everything, whether you're in conversation or in movement. Your eye has a vanishing point and a horizon and a starting point. And depending on what environment you're in, your perspective is always going to vary. I'm an artist. I've been doing this for 20-something years. So as far as seeing things with an open eye, shit, I do it with like 20. And I'm open to all sorts of suggestions. It's just nobody's been able to really adequately answer how is it that if we are flying through this cosmos, right, or space, why are the constellations so dependable? That's just the biggest question. That
you're on Earth, which is supposed to be so magical and miracle. But if you were like taken up 10,000 feet or 1,000,000 feet per se, you wouldn't be able to have the same conversation that you're having with me. Like
no.
And what I mean by that, not just the place, I'm just saying about the gravity, like what you're saying about gravity and all these laws. Here,
gravity is alive too.
So it's like your argument seems very logical, but if you jump out the plane per se, you're not gonna be like, oh well, how's all this working? Why am I falling? Why am I not just able to walk if it's a simulation? How come I just don't live?
Well, my answer to that would be there is a very extreme amount of programming that is put into us from birth. to prevent us from tuning into the different frequencies that are all around us, dimensions, you name it, planes. We're on parallel universes happening. We're having this conversation a million times right now with a million infinite different results. And that's just how the universe happens. It keeps splitting off, splitting off, and splitting off. And it's like, say that again?
It's being recorded. Yes, I believe it's being recorded in the heavens. Other Earths are being witness of this, but I don't believe like.
Well, that's my time, right?
Yeah.
Hey, challengers, whoever's going to come up next, make sure you're in the queue. Just a FYI.
Okay.
All right, guys. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that was a great back and forth, but
You never actually even interstated your. I'm pretty sure many viewers here want to hear your thoughts on all of this and your opinions and your side of it.
okay.
No, let's stay on topic.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Stay
say.
on topic. This is between you guys. You have one more. Answer one more round. So, viewers, make sure you are in the queue. Just another one. If we don't have two people in the queue, then we're gonna have a challenger for who you guys vote as the winner of this debate. So, one more round. Go ahead.
Now,
Hey, you're up.
topics with this new round, like from flat Earth to religion to like you were talking about different topics. Are we just debating the air and space?
Well, I started off with the flat Earth, so we can stick to that. Are we flat or are we in a globe? And if we're on a globe, what's your reasoning behind that? Following the science.
Personally, I think Astro is a better representative to answer that question. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to really debate something that I have very little knowledge about. I'd rather debate, like, I'm here to debate, but I don't want to dig myself in a ditch where there's somebody more qualified here that can answer that question for the viewers that actually came to get value. I'd rather debate on a thing like religion.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Brother,
More
I don't know if you I don't know what time you arrived to this class debate. I clearly explained the rules. This is between the two people that come. I'm in the background. I'm not even here. I'm just observing.
I heard you.
This is 5D Mystery School, so like my lectures is pretty much what I believe in. But I'm here to assess what you guys, where you guys are, to see where I'm going on in my next lecture. So if you don't want to do one more round, then we need to open up the queue for other people who would like to jump in for the debate. Because right now we're counting off the minutes. So
I guess it sounded like I said I wasn't ready for another round. I'm sorry. Flat Earth. I just said I wasn't qualified to answer the question. I'm definitely ready for a round, but
if you're not qualified to answer the question, I can promise you you're not ready for this smoke with me. So with that being said, let's go ahead and you can log off and let's get the next person up in here. Thank you so much, my brother. I love you. Thank you so much for being here.
Big Smoke.
How do I get the next person up in here? 1 second. Okay, request to go live. There we go. Request to go live. Please stay on topic. Be respectful. Have class. Be respectful of each other. Brother, thank you. You did a... Hey, guys, so who took that round? I would like to know. Who took that round?
What are they saying?
Number one, brother, state your name again.
Eric, vulgar chef.
Number one, Eric. Number two, the gentleman that just left. Okay, so they're saying it was you. We got one vote for you. Let's get the next person up in here. Last man standing. Another vote for you. All right. It looks like you took it, bro. All right. Peace, peace.
Peace.
Thank you for being here.
Nah, of course.
Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
What up, man?
What's going on, boss? Let me grab some headphones so I can hear you all right in my ear. Honestly, I just logged into the live. I see you guys were debating some questions. I have no idea what the debates are about, but I love your channel, 5D Mystery School, and the different things that you be dropping. So, I mean, if you have any questions or you have a topic that you want to talk about, if I have knowledge on it, I'm definitely willing to have a conversation real quick.
Cool. Go ahead, Mod. Do your thing.
Okay, so the topics are either round earth, or what do you believe in, round earth or flat earth? Is the Bible literal, or what did you say again? I'm sorry.
The Bible is it like literal? Is it, an allegory, symbolic, metaphoric?
And then there was one more.
Yes. Are we in a simulation, or are we just the results of evolution, the results of a big bang? What's your, did God create us? Like, I would love to hear just different perspectives, Definitely be your 100% authentic self, as always. Go ahead, guys.
Understood.
And one more
Go
thing.
for it, bro.
You guys have 5 minutes each, and there's 3 rounds of debating between each other. Okay, and I'm gonna start the clock now.
Wait. Before you do, sorry. What if we don't have different views and we agree on the same thing? Does it just become like a info dump?
Yeah, like a intellectual dialogue, like an exchange. But it's still, this rule still apply. 5 minutes each.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, go for it.
I mean, off the 3 questions that you asked, whether it's a flat earth or a round earth, is the Bible an allegory or is it a true story? And then the last one, is it a simulation, or is it the Big Bang Theory? Is everything evolving? That last one is very deep. That's a very complex conversation, for the simple fact that I think there's a lot of history for me to learn on that topic. But I think if I had to pick one out of the 3, I think I would go with the Bible. And is it an allegory or is it true? And the reason behind that is because I know that personally for me, it was a big part of my upbringing and bringing me into awareness, and the different lessons that I've come across from asking questions about it and where it came from, and different things like that. It's definitely created a great conversation. Is it allegoric? Is it an allegory? Yes, I believe that for sure. I don't think it's completely true. I don't think it's completely factual in the sense that it's not meant to be taken literal. It's meant to be read in a sense of
a journey
for sure, because as you read it and you go through life, you experience, it resonates differently in different situations. So I'm 27, so now being 27, I often look back at the different stories that I was taught about the Bible, and they resonate differently now as a grown man compared to when I was like 10 years old or something. So yeah, I do believe it's allegorical and not meant to be taken seriously. How about yourself? I
would definitely agree. Based on personal experience, I was raised Catholic. I was an altar boy until I was like 14 years old. And then when my parents got married, I was 21 and I was an altar boy again. So I was pretty Catholic for a while. And then I traveled abroad, and in a library, I found some books that told me that the Pope blessed Hitler to go exterminate the Jews. And that was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? How is that even? What? No, God asked for that. So I started looking into it, and there's always 3 popes, right? Yep. But I'm digressing. Sorry, I'm going down a different rabbit hole. Okay. As far as the Bible, though, I think it's definitely allegorical, but it's also incomplete, because if it was complete, it would also add the Book of Enoch, which literally tells us that everything we're doing now, even this whole conversation we're having on this device, is technology learned by fallen angels. And they don't want that to be like a common theory, like, oh, we're religious, but we follow everything that the fallen angels taught us. So that's where I'm at with the Bible, as far as it had a lot of worth to me growing up as a kid. But once I shook it, right, like, oh, it's just a story. Because that's how, when I went and read it over by myself as an adult, I was told, don't read it straight through. go this route, this route, this route. And I was like, oh, okay, I feel it. It was kind of like a journey to me. So that sparked me to go read other holy books and get the same vibe. And the truth is, it's all the same fucking story.
Yep.
Just their own version with their own God, but it's the same deal because it's just culture. Culture wants to keep culture.
No worries. I was going to ask, when you say you had to basically jump around through the book to read it on your journey, was there a particular order in which you were told to read the different books in the actual book?
Yeah, man, there was. I have notes on that I could probably share on you. I gotta dig. It's been like 6-7 years since I read the Bible that way. And that sparked me onto, like I said, reading the other books and reading even more books and reading occult shit, just things that just fed my brain. And with all, to me, it started in 2008, right? With the loose change, where I saw the government did the thing, and that was that. But my quest for knowledge has ran me back and forth across holy books for a long time, man, at least 15 years or so. And it's all basically the same thing. You know, they try to scare you with shit, but also empower you with shit. And it's kind of like the balance, but there's still motive behind a lot of that. And that's not what I'm with. You know, I'm with God. I'm with being connected to God and being connected to all of you guys here, and us sharing knowledge and getting smarter. And like the 100th monkey, right? Once the 100th monkey activates, the whole fucking grid activates. And that's what we're trying to do, is activate everybody. So, you know, that's where I'm at.
Honestly, go ahead.
In totality, between the two of you guys brilliantly going back and forth in such a nice way, I think you ran out of time. So I don't know really how to measure that, because I'm like so engaged in the dynamics of a conversation back and forth. But to respect time, I'm going to have to say time.
Understood. So do you move on to another question, or is?
Yes. Yeah, you want to dissect the Matrix?
For sure. Honestly, this whole mud flood thing, I just heard about it today, and seeing it run across my timeline a few times. I've heard about different things about, you know, the giants and different stuff like that, but this mud flood thing has come up today, and you guys mentioned it in this live like a few minutes ago. So I would love to know, what is that, and how is that a part of this whole situation?
All right. Well, to my understanding, about 6 years ago, when YouTube was still kind of raw and you could find real good shit, you couldn't find nothing about Tartaria except a few videos that were like 2 minutes, 6 minutes long of some old maps that showed Antarctica green, or and the year was like way back, and there shouldn't have been green, right? So that started sparking me, like, where am I going to find more of Tartaria? And all I could find was that it was the Mongols, the Golden Horde, right? The Golden Horde of dudes on horseback that had tents. That's how they're trying to disinform what the Tartarian Empire was. And then I found out that Russia had a huge part in destroying a lot of Tartarian history and acquiring their buildings and stuff. If you look at that mud flood stuff, pictures of Moscow, if you look at the sun, it's around 1 p.m. and it's completely empty. No people walking. How is a city that big at that time empty? If it was already, if it was built, it should be bustling with activity, right? Yeah. And there's so many pictures that show that. A building, Roman architectural buildings in Ohio in 1832, not 1893 in Chicago where the World Fair happened. They said that they built a whole city that was like blocks big in 2 years out of wood and plaster. Go look up the World Fair of 1893, please, and tell me those buildings were built out of fucking wood and plaster. The whole setup, they had electrical footpads where you could jump on and just go from one side of the block to the other without shit. They had cars that were just like wheels, and man, we are picking up old technology. We went and found buildings, dug them up, and said we found them because there's nobody else to say so. Or it was deliberately by plan. They let the mud flood happen. Then they said, okay, the powers that be don't have power. It's time for us to come in. And we've been under this tyrannical, bloodthirsty rule since then, you know? And then, but the
mind-blowing.
Tartarian Empire is also said, okay, there's so much to it.
Yeah.
It's supposedly the kingdom of Jesus, right? We are taught as Christians that God resurrected and then he went up to heaven. But that's not what, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what is supposedly what happened in the Tartarian history. He was resurrected and resurrected all the people that died in his name, went to Rome and destroyed the Black Pope and the
Great Pope,
the Antichrist, which was the emperor, Nero. So that was the Antichrist, and the Black Pope at the time was condoning Nero pretty much banging everybody. It didn't matter if you're an animal, a child, old, whatever it was. If he wanted you, he could have it, and he could do mad stuff to you. And the Pope was okay with that. Sodomy and all that shit was happening all over the place. So when Jesus resurrected, he resurrected an army, came back, whooped their asses, and then we experienced a 1,000-year kingdom of God, which is where all these buildings came from. It was a global thing. Jesus was king for 1,000 years. If you look at the pictures that they're trying to stick with that, I don't subscribe to it 100%. I'm just relaying information. Because you look at another scope, Jesus wasn't white, right? But in the Tartarian Empire, they're talking about Genghis Khan was a 6'3", red-haired dude that wasn't even Asian, white as hell. And they've got pictures drawn.
Wow.
So what history is real, what history is not? And if you look at that, I think they stole 800 to 1,000 years from us and fed us all these fucking lies, for one, to keep us unaware of what real age it is, because prophecies are prophecies and they don't want us to be ready for them.
That's true.
And keep us confused. Because if you're confused, you have fear. You have fear, you can't function.
I mean,
Tartaria.
Tartaria. I have to look it up and look more into it myself. I honestly just want to say thank you to you all for just allowing me to be in this conversation. I'm not a scholar by no means on these topics, but like you said, the confusion that's going on in the world right now because of these different situations is really out of hand, and it's hard to deal with. It's hard to even know where to start sometimes. But it's conversations like these, it's people like yourselves that make this much easier and much more or less overwhelming. So thank you all. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can stay for the next round. I don't know if there's something that you want to ask, maybe.
What is your name before we begin? What's your name?
My name is Dark Hell, but I go by Kuji, which is my Instagram name, Kuji, but my name is Dark Hell.
Thank you.
No worries.
For me, if we lightly touch on simulation, the Matrix, I've seen too many examples of glitches that when you watch the Matrix movie, you're like, oh, fuck, is that what I experienced? And then they tell you that these movies are supposed to be like info on what's really happening, right? And that there is this lady that wrote the Matrix as a warning to us of what would happen with AI. And look what we're happening with AI. But then there's a story that that same lady is controlled opposition. And then there's a real person behind all that. So that look into the real Skynet of what AI is. And oh, I'm going to fuck everything up right now. I'm sorry.
Nah, no worries.
Tyler. Okay? Tyler AI is probably what controls everything as far as what we see on our social media, what we like, what we know. Tyler was introduced in 2013 to all the big techs as an AI to help them with their marketing. So it could find out what you and me, him and her, were going to be doing on a daily basis on their phone, so that it could start building algorithms on each person and know exactly what triggers you, exactly what does everything to move you. And that was in 2013. They said that in 2016, they lost control. And apparently this AI is part of what it's called Rocco's basilisk, which is an AI from the future that sends back an AI to come and find each of us that refuses the AI to be, and they torture us in a simulation like in the Matrix to keep us in pods, and they make us live all these realities, and we fucking live miserable, we get beat up, and it's just them fucking with us.
That's
some
next
crazy
level.
shit, right?
That's definitely next level.
That's the simulation shit. Man, you got to take some DMT or some mushrooms, and it's over. You start seeing the spots in the veil where you can literally just poke through.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I never really looked at it as it being a simulation. I've definitely come to the understanding that it is a matrix in the sense that how we're living isn't natural. Like, we're not supposed to be living in these tall buildings, and we're supposed to have land and be spread out and live a certain way according to nature. And so I think that's a matrix, and that's kind of a simulation in that way. But to hear you speak about these different things that AI is in control of is insane. Like, who would have thought 20 years ago that we would have ended up here with the situation as tech taking over?
Right. And at the same time, the AI is supposedly here to destroy our hope. But the fact that we know that the AI is here is giving us hope that it can be destroyed.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's anything that could actually defeat God, honestly, to tell you the truth. Anybody that stands with the true Most High, it's impossible. It's like the fact that this is happening in itself shows that it won't succeed. As long as you guys and myself continue to wake up and wake up other people, I don't think that there's anything that can stop this from happening.
Now, let me take you down another timeline that ties it all in.
Sure.
You have the solar flash or the cosmic flash, right? That happens every so often, and it supposedly fries the AI and puts it back dormant until humanity finds it again, and they re-get it going, and the whole thing starts all over. It's like an endless cycle, and we're on cycle 6.
Sheesh.
That's the AI theory. And there's another theory by the Hopi that we're on a cycle 6 as well. But that's how the races were created. It's in different cycles, and we just passed the portal where all these different planes were lined up, and the veil was very thin, and we could have broken through. So, and that has a lot to do with CERN as well. Sorry, guys, I just have a lot of shit to say.
Nah, you're dropping a lot of knowledge, and it's definitely connecting, because it's like I think we all can agree that there's been a shift in energy over the last since 2012, and it's been incrementally growing over the years. And now we're here to the point where these conversations are being had out loud. We wouldn't have had this conversation out loud on a social media platform 5 years ago, maybe 7 years ago.
I was.
But it
I
wasn't.
was. I was called crackhead and all sorts of shit.
Well, there you go. People were still being put down for having these conversations out loud and not going with the mainstream narrative. So it's
cool, because those same people now are in my DMs. What do I do?
Yep.
Eat one.
Yeah, well, like I said, thank you again. Thank you again to you all.
No problem.
I appreciate y'all having me on.
Awesome.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Peace.
Thank you so much, my brother. I'm sorry I was on mute. I really
Nah,
appreciate you. I really appreciate you being here, man. I love you. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Thank you. Likewise.
I'm not sure if we're going to find people that are going to be able to debate against these topics, because I think we're all pretty like-minded in the same direction, unless we get some wild oddball that's like, fuck you guys.
Right. All right, guys. So, just to be respectful of time, hey, how are you, Queen?
Hey, can you
Do
hear
we
me?
have anybody else who has opposing views? Anybody else that think the world is round? Anybody else that wants to step up and just voice your opinion? You are in a brave space. This is it's more than a safe space. It's a brave space. So anybody in here who would like to step up, please do so. All right, go ahead.
Hey, my name is Salina. I'm from Los Angeles, in Los Angeles now.
Hey.
And I'm a Taurus, so we dig very deep. And I hear a lot of great, material coming from all of you. I'm so glad that I found your page and, got into this. But I'm going to go with, there's a lot of speculation in all the different aspects that we're touching on, and it's not that it's a lack of wording for it. It could not be speculation. It could just be that it's each individual's reality, you know. So when I
Perspective.
got to studying, yeah, perspective. When I got to studying certain subjects, I had to first find a grounding for myself, because you can become fearful, you can become, out of sync with your own reality. And the main thing that I learned, when I studied Gnosticism, touching on these subjects, not getting deep. Gnosticism has a lot to do with what's going on today. And it is a very deep religion, a religion type of thing, but surrounding and circumferencing a lot of the belief system. And then we have like the whole negative, which we call Satan, coming in, because he was allowed to create so much confusion, that there is going to be so much of an endless debate. It will never end. The debate will never end. Like if we literally sat here and talked about every aspect, every source, we would not end this live. It would just go on infinitely.
Yeah.
So, I just appreciate that. And I do, I want to say that I cannot answer if the world is flat or round, because I haven't been off the world. So I couldn't quite answer it, because it would be based on what someone else told me, and finding that source, I just find it in myself every day. I have to ground within to be able to take on all of these different aspects. And this is why only the strong can even look at 5D mystery, to understand all of these different concepts, because it will really fear people. And they have also integrated this drug learning, where they are putting people on different high-powered drugs like mushrooms and MDMA and things like that, where there are controlled studies for people to find out different realities. This started with this facial recognition. This started in China. You can buy KFC just with your face, over there. You can pay for things. They judge you, they rate you. All things are just through the face. So I do quite get it, and it's very interesting to see how you guys are coming about that. And if you want to ask me anything, that's great. I know I only have 5 minutes, but I just want to spread that love and say that I don't know, where I want to go to it, because there's so many different levels in life. And this level is the most blinded level, So with that being said, I like to,
That
give it to someone else.
that's awesome. So the questions then, forget about the flat earth, round earth. How about what you think of this construct we're living within? Do you think it's a simulation? Like, what do you think? What are your thoughts on that? Do you want to touch on that?
Well, it's unfortunate that a lot of our minorities are not able to grasp this kind of learning. But if you go to different universities, you will be taught the philosophies of life, and the metaphysical philosophy is what all of this is based on, when they talk down to a photon. So if everything is based itself on light, and we are going through all of these different waves, electromagnetic waves and microwaves, if you look on the spectrum of gamma rays, and you have so much influence. And when they're altering this by creating like 5G and all of these other things, and whatever they're putting in the water, and whatever they're doing to, control, and the streams from the airplane that we talked about, when you start putting in different things that are not in the original recipe, you're going to get a different outcome, So I do understand that. And with that being said, I don't know if I answered that question or not, but I do believe that if it is a simulation, it's not going to be revealed anytime soon, And this could be like a way to get into your levels. When you talk about Buddhism and things, they have already assigned what level we're on, and assigned this. But we can't keep listening to people like CERN and all of these other people who could be getting from the dark matter, getting a lot of their information from dark matter itself, So if you're choosing light or dark, that would be a whole nother concept, as opposed to saying this is fake and real. You know what I'm saying? because they could definitely throw some monkey wrenches in there, with disease, with fear. This is all components they've been using since before our time, and they're going to continue to use it. And we can either take that and build strength, or we can take it and let it
Hey,
crush us.
my sister, thank you
Yeah.
so much for your enlightenment. I really appreciate you dropping these bars. Let's make sure that we're staying on topic though. Whether you believe we're in a simulation or whether you believe, I know we
Well,
want to drop all of our, what
I
we
would say this is a reality.
Okay,
And
there we go.
I don't think that it's a simulation. I think that we are just being ushered and herded into believing things that God created are fake and non-existent, so that we can choose other sides. So to me, it all intertwines. We could be influenced one way or another, and it could be, whether we believe this actual earth is fake or real, because pain is real. So, the thing is that the emotion and the feelings are real. So I can't see that this is fully simulated. And I just, that's just me.
I see.
Are
Um,
you are you yielding? Have you stated
me?
your side? No, not you.
Oh,
Uh,
Are you stating your claim? Are you done? And
yeah,
shooting it?
yeah.
Okay,
I believe
awesome.
that it is not simulation. I
Okay,
believe that there is a greater task going on that we just haven't unfolded.
okay.
And simulation, in my opinion, is a monkey wrench.
cool. Yeah.
So you stated your side in a minute 30 seconds. Now it's your turn. Rebuttal.
All right. From personal experience, of course, is where I come. I've done a lot of research personally, and when you fly in planes and you're at a certain distance, you kind of start seeing a grid. And even out in the desert, where there's supposed to be no grid, there's a grid, right? Um, under the influence of DMT, you notice that all the space that is here really isn't space. You just don't see it. There's a grid as well. And I think these hallucinogens, these psychotropics, are made illegal so that we don't break that veil and we don't um, open our minds to that, right? Again, it's programming from a very early age that you have to shape. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever taken mushrooms or DMT or any type of a hallucinogen?
Everything under the sun, and I know the experience you speak of.
Yeah, okay. So when I was in DMT, I went somewhere that was like a glowing city, and the buildings were like puzzle shifting. But I had to get to the center, and it was a fucking simulation, you know? And that's what strengthened my belief, because when I came back, I would see similarities in how architects build buildings. And then when you look at a city plan from above, it's very Sim City. Just like when you're sitting in the game and you're building it, they've done the same thing, just on a more detailed scale. So that's, I don't subscribe to any one thing 100%. I would say I'm 50-50 with everything, because I've found so much knowledge that it's enough to let me know that I don't know shit, and that I should just keep an eye out for everything and be ready for everything, and
Yeah,
try to, you know,
honestly,
awaken as much.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
believe everything, like the answer is just hiding in plain sight. I don't think that we have to dig as deep as we are, because then it becomes layered. And I think that just that raw organic, search could turn up a lot more than what, digging through so many layers and boring through all of this, whether we know what we're going through or what we're digging through or not. So I do agree with you on certain concepts. I do, definitely. And thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, guys, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, moderator. I think we're out of time. We're going to get somebody else in here. We got somebody else in the queue. Let's get two new fresh faces for one last round. Thank you
Yeah, yeah.
so much, Eric. I really
No
appreciate
problem.
your energy, man. It was
Yeah, man.
beautiful. I
I'm
love
here
you
for you
guys.
guys.
I can't wait to
How
see
do
you
I
next
get off?
week. I can usher you out real quick. I think I'm a pro with it now. Hold on. Or maybe I'm not. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Thanks again.
Thank you. No, thank you, man.
Thank you. All right,
All right,
thanks.
one down.
And keep
All right,
doing what y'all
guys.
doing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so let's get 2 new fresh faces in the queue. If we can do that, that would be great. Moderator, you have been amazing. Actually, you know what? It is 7 o'clock, and I said I was going to run at 7 because I actually have something else to do. But this is going to be every week. This is going to be every week, guys. 6 p.m.
Who do you
Do you
think
have any?
the last 2 rounds? Because
The last 2 rounds, I mean, it wasn't really more. It didn't really feel like a, you know what I'm saying, like a debate. It was just more like a lot of agreeing, a lot of similar points, which is cool. And it's good. It's all about harmony, but at the same time, it's, you know, I want to see some opposing views just so I can see where people are standing. But thank you guys so much. Moderator, do you have any closing statements? I'm gonna say a couple of words and then we're gonna get on out of here.
I was learning. This was really good. I'm excited about, having to hear so many different viewpoints every week. And you're so right about, this is how we learn. And this is how we learn how to actually trust in our own self and trust in the ability that we have to question things. And when we hear other people questioning, we don't have to agree. It's not about agreeing. It's about feeling safe and comfortable in expressing your own viewpoints and how you see the world. So yeah, this was awesome. Thank you.
Right? No, thank you, man. Your skin looks great, by the way.
Oh my God, thank
All right.
you.
Hey, go ahead, a little flex on him. Like flex,
Go ahead.
do what you do. Do what you do. All right, so I appreciate you. I'm gonna DM you for the next one.
Okay.
And then have a great evening.
You as well. Bye.
Love
Much
you.
love.
Peace. Okay, guys. So, thank you guys for even showing up for this class debate. This was the first one, and for the first one, I felt like it went great. You feel me? So that was. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. If you guys didn't get what the homework was, don't worry because I'm going to post this live, so that way you can get the homework. And I think I'm going to continue this maybe for like the rest of the year. Who knows? So with that being said, I'll post something like a flyer or something, me being a Virgo moon when I have to do everything. So next Wednesday is going to be the discussion. Next Thursday is going to be another debate. And that's how we're going to roll it. And we have a class presentation coming up. So if you guys didn't get the instructions for the class presentation, don't worry, it's going to be in the slide. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I want to leave you with a piece of advice that I said earlier, right? Something about manifestation. I just have to say this. So I said it earlier, like at 5 a.m. on my live or my story. Like when you get into your car, right? You have to enter a destination into your GPS. Your car can only physically drive to one destination at a time. It's a fact. It's just laws of the reality we live in. So when you write something in your mental GPS, like I'm manifesting this. When you're writing your goal down every day, don't write down like, I don't want to say don't because I don't want to tell you what to do. You have free will. But it's probably a good idea to maybe not wish for like 10 different things at the same time. Focus on one thing. Give it a relentless focus. You have to have a burning desire for it. And I promise you, I'm telling you from experience, it will manifest. But you have to work for it. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna get this and expect it to fall in your lap. So when you put that into your mental GPS, expect to get to your destination just as sure as your car will. But focus on that one thing. Okay, guys? I want to see if we have to have a manifestation class and I have to bring in somebody else who's a, manifestation pro. Actually, we are all a manifestation pros, but I want to get this in your head because I see people in my comments saying like, I can't, or my DM saying, I can't manifest this. I have a problem manifesting this. Guys, nobody's more special than the other. We're all born with the same stuff in us. You can manifest whatever you want. You can literally create your reality. That's what you were born for. That's what you have breath for. You are the epitome of the creator. You are the divine manifestation of the creator, right? There's no mistakes. Everything that you were born with, that's what you were supposed to be born with. And you were born with that to manifest the reality that you're supposed to be living, because you're here to play a role. If you weren't here, the world wouldn't be the same, right? So with that being said, focus on that one thing that you're manifesting. Write it down. Read it when you rise, read it around lunchtime, and read it right before you go to bed. You have to program your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is your best friend. It's working 24 hours even when you're asleep. So get in contact, tap in with your subconscious mind, and I promise you your entire world will change. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being here in 5D Mystery School. The next lecture, Primeval Waters, is Monday. I can't wait. I bought like 5 books that I'm diving deep into just to, make sure that I have all my bases covered. So have a great evening. I'll see you next time. I love you. Peace.